72 was a scratch. 73 was ninth. 74 was third. 75 was 11th. 77 was second. 78 was first. 79 was seventh. 81 was fifth. 82 was eighth. And 2083 was fourth. Coming into the ring now is Class 127 polled females, range in age from January 5th to January 9th.
So we start moving into our early January heifers. The class coming in right now, they range in age from January the 5th through the 9th. Very interesting class. Not quite as big as some of the ones we've had. Certainly an assortment of heifers in this class to pick from. And in our last class, as we predicted, the heifer to beat was the 5280 heifer from the Colliers. That's out of a Miles McKee Bailey cow. She has a nice set of numbers in addition to being a really, really nice heifer. That's shown by Piper
Once again,
Collier.
We want to take this opportunity to thank
kind of female, really
a lot of people.
colored.
It takes a small army to put on an event like this, and without a large number of volunteers and help from a lot of different people, events like this would not be possible. And we thank everyone that's been a part and has volunteered and helped in some form or fashion. The National Hereford Women have been a very big part, along with the Nebraska Hereford Women who've run the hospitality area. We thank the local 4-H and FFA chapters that have worked at helping us in the ring and keeping the ring looking good. And a big thank you to the South Dakota Hereford Junior and Adult Associations that have hosted us here this week here in Grand Island. So, folks, let's give a nice round of applause to everyone. Give yourself a nice hand, because these events don't happen without a lot of hard work.
How to continue with her. If she was just a little more extended up her front end, the 2078, that 5280 heifer, boy, she's really powerful. She won it pretty easily. The second place heifer in that class was a buck-bred heifer shown by Rebecca Moore in Medill, Oklahoma. And in third, you had a Black Hawk Down heifer shown by Braxton Light from Rogersville, Tennessee. Another nice heifer. The mother of that one would be a full sister to Wildcat. In this class right now, these heifers, they go from the 5th to the 9th. Again, all the heifers that we'd probably be looking at him pulling would be 2086. This is a time traveler shown by Kimberly Snyder from New Windsor, Maryland. That's, again, 2086. There is a GP Master and Commander heifer shown by the Billings of Greendale, New Jersey. That's a nice heifer. Andrew Matheny, or Austin Matheny, has a nice heifer in here that is a leader again. With an incredible set of data. If you want to combine show heifer and data, certainly the heifer 2095 from Austin Matheny would be one to look at. She's going to be a really nice heifer. This is, again, a smaller class, and I would expect our judges to make piecework of it pretty quickly. And they're moving right through this, folks. We've only got about 9 classes left to go, a few divisions mixed in there. I predict maybe we'll be ready for a champion drive between 5 and 6 o'clock this evening. You think, Chris? He's going to go ahead and pull Austin Matheny's heifer out. Looks like he's just going to send her up here to win the class. Again, that's the leader heifer that certainly combines show performance with performance data. The heifer that's going to wind up in second He's going to be 2086. That would be the time traveler from the Snyder family I told you about from Windsor, Maryland. The next heifer in line is going to be 2097. That's going to be an 8050U. Heifer was bred by Iron Lake Ranch and shown by JNHE Bloom from Pierre, South Dakota. In fourth place, they pulled out the Master and Commander heifer shown by Abigail and Hannah Billing from Greendale, New Jersey. That's a really big framed heifer with a lot of length of body, but man, she's got a beautiful pencil neck front end on her. Heifer you're really going to kind of like. I think he's going to go right to talking them and leave them in that order.
Every shape, size, kind in this class, and again, I think you can do whatever you want. Once again, I'll say that Jack and Shane give me the okay to use the data, and by golly, it helped me in this class. This heifer here is kind of lined up right in terms of her genetic evaluation. She's nice on birth and growth, and she's got some maternal, and she looks like a nice cow too. Again, the cow you turn out, you don't worry much about. That kind of fits the bill here. She's not necessarily one that's designed for the show ring, but I think for a cow, long-term success, I think she has that. We step way up on the other side on frame. We go to probably the biggest heifer here in the class, and again, ideally you could be somewhere in between at this age group. For a big heifer, she still handles it pretty well. Her structure is not a problem with me. I think she flexes good, but again, she probably just sets up there on the side of being just too big for me. I think she's fortunate enough to have enough rib and have enough stuff to her for having that kind of frame, but I don't know what she would weigh. I don't sit in the sale barn every day and buy cattle, but I'm sure she can set the scale down pretty daggone heavy and hard. But again, she's flexible, she moves nice, she's just a little on the big side. Frame-wise, this one here is kind of what I'm searching for. She kind of hits me really quite right in her size. She's very feminine. She needs a stronger hind leg on her, and she definitely needs a better brain inside of her head. And I just told John, I said, this little gal has really struggled. She's got nice help out here from the juniors, and I said, I'm just not going to put her back through it again. But that's a nice heifer, and if she's good enough on her hind leg, I definitely would have, but she's not, and so she's going to end up in third. Another big, good-looking heifer here that comes next. The difference between her and the one that we have in second is there's just not as much to her. She's got a good look, and she's smooth, and she's nice built in her structure, but it's kind of, again, the maturity pattern, the growth curve on this one here is such that she just simply isn't equipped yet to have all the power that she needs to accommodate the extra frame. I think, again, we've got some good cattle here. I think John's been through and talked with all these kids. There's, just kind of a high group of cattle that are all different in type and kind, and just kind of, whatever fits your bill is kind of the way a person can sit in here and sort them out.
Placings in Class 127, polled females. First place, entry 2095, ASM Miss Caroline 708E, exhibited by Austin and Taylor Bell Matheny, Mayslick, Kentucky. Second place, entry number 2086, LCC Sweet Time 709, exhibited by Kimberly Lynn Snyder, New Windsor, Maryland. Third place, entry 2097, exhibited by J.N. Bloom, Pierce, South Dakota. Fourth place, entry 2092, exhibited by Ashley McKinney, Darlington, Missouri. Fifth place, entry 2090, exhibited by Ricky Hawkins, Genlu, West Virginia. Sixth place, entry 2088, exhibited by Callaway and Cora Burns, Macy, Indiana. Seventh place, entry 2093, exhibited by Haley Ferguson, Smithton, Missouri. Eighth place, entry 2089, exhibited by Hannah and Abigail Billing, Greendale, New Jersey. Ninth place, entry 2084, exhibited by Brianna Hula, Weston, Nebraska. 10th place. Excuse me, there was just 9 in the class. So a recap of the class. It starts with 2084, and she was 9th. 2086 was 2nd. 87 was a scratch. 88 was 6th. 89 was 8th. 90 was 5th. 91 was a scratch. 92 was 4th. 93 was 7th. 94 was a scratch. 95 was 1st. And 97 was 3rd. Coming into the ring now is class 128 polled females. Immediately following this class, we'll be selecting our Division 9 champion and reserve polled females.
Well, it was a pretty logical placing in that last class. Obviously, first place goes to the heifer we talked about from Austin Matheny. Really, really nice leader with an outstanding set of data. I'm not sure if the judges even looked at that, but if you want to combine show heifer and data, she's the one to do it. She's a moderate framed heifer, but just beautiful, deep-bodied, cowy looking, what you'd expect from a Matheny family. Your second place heifer, she's a time traveler bred by Loudermans, shown by Kimberly Lynn Snader from New Windsor, Maryland. A little bit bigger class here. These heifers are going to be calved from January 1st through January the 4th. And let me get a look at them and we'll give you some predictions. Heifer in this class, 2102. It's a Miles McKee out of Diana 01. Again, that must have been a very prolific couple of flushes. I know those eggs were awfully sticky whenever you put them in. A lot of pregnancies there. Again, these are January junior yearlings. Interesting class. Hey, just to remind everybody, our sponsors, VitaFirm and SureChamp, if you'll take a picture of your receipt and text it to 816-383-3109, they'll donate $1. He went ahead and pulled the Miles Diana heifer out to start this class, and then he's going to follow up with the Courtney Udy heifer from Harrisburg, North Carolina. Again, be sure and text a picture of your receipt of any VitaFirm products, bags, or tubs that you buy to 816-383-3109. The first 5 will receive a VitaFirm prize pack. A VitaFirm prize pack, and I think there's still a couple of spots left on that if you'll go ahead and do it. And again, we are going to every bag and tub that you buy and identify yourself or send your receipts in, they'll donate $1 per bag or tub to Heifer for scholarships and research. So it's called Feed the Future. Great program. Again, the Hereford title sponsor this year, VitaFirm Sure Champ, and unlike years past, this year Hereford is really the only title sponsor from VitaFirm and Show Champ. So we really appreciate everything they've done for us over the years, 10, 15 years. We talked to Crystal Blunt about it earlier. She was nice enough to drop by here and talk cattle with me. Again, he's making piecework out of this class. So he's got 2 pretty logical heifers, maybe 3 to start this class. And he's going to run right through them. Again, it looks like it's going to be the Miles McKee Diana, shown by Rachel Drum of Winchester, Kentucky, will win this class. Your second place is going to be.
Pull her out. Nice class winner. In fact, John and I both thought pretty quickly these 2 paired up. And again, really the same story. The reason this one wins, she's got a better hind leg and she's got a better chest. With that, she's also a little longer. Just in general, a little less conditioning in that female there. And I think it just helps the overall presence that she has out here in the ring. Same kind of model, maybe even a little stouter, is the heifer in second. In terms of her rib cage, there's just a nickel more inside of that one than what we've started with. Got a big old strong hip in her. I think she's sure good enough, you know, in terms of structure. Is she as good as that one in her hock? Probably not. This one here looks a little better on the move. I think the big thing I'd like to do is just kind of tuck that chest more up in her. And again, it's the nature of the beast, I guess I would say, in this breed and where they want to deposit it. And as a result, it kind of affects the way she travels out of her front end. Nice heifer in third. Again, standing, I can sure think about getting this one bumped up a notch as she travels. She's just a little more timid off both ends, but really smooth, has some body, has a nice refined look to her. Hopefully for this young lady, she continues to develop and will make a nice cow for you, but she's got a lot of quality to her look. Partner, about missed you there. My co-pilot was paying attention. This is a nice big stout heifer. Again, she's probably just a nickel coarser and straighter in her hock than what I like, but she has tremendous length and power and designed a lot nicer up in through her neck and chest and some of the cattle that follow her. And probably just need to refine her up a little bit in her bone work and make her move just a little more athletically if we could. This is a really pretty refined heifer too. You'll notice she struggles a little more out of her front, tightens up a little bit more in her hock. Obviously just needs a bit more middle third here for this age. Next heifer, again, soundness is kind of the issue. You know, we like the power that she has. We just want to maybe make that one just a little bit freer moving as she goes. But good class. I think a nice fresh one that has a lot of design to go ahead and win this particular set of females.
Placings in Class 128 polled females. First place, entry 2102, sold Diana 703, exhibited by Rachel Drum, Winchester, Kentucky. Second place, entry number 2100, CME, Karina 700E, exhibited by Courtney Udy, Harrisburg, North Carolina. Third place, entry 2111, exhibited by Kaylee Lunsford, Fort Scott, Kansas. Fourth place, entry 2108, exhibited by Quentin Slater, Shenandoah, Iowa. Fifth place, entry 2105, exhibited by Emily and Bennett Holt, Caldwell, Idaho. Sixth place is entry 2106. Entry 2106 is 6. She goes to Abigail and Colton Peterson, Roanoke, Illinois. Seventh place, entry 2107, exhibited by Emily and Bennett Holt, Caldwell, Idaho. Eighth place, entry 2112, exhibited by Rachel Morgan, Chillicothe, Ohio. Ninth place is entry 2104, exhibited by Braden and Jordan Lamb, Wilson, Wisconsin. 10th place is entry 2109, exhibited by McKenna and Madeline Bainey, Navarre, Ohio. 11th place is entry 2099, exhibited by Levi Roth, Windsor, Missouri. Recap of the class, it begins with entry 2099, she's 11th, 2100 second, 2101's a scratch, 2102 is first. 2104 is ninth. 2105 is fifth. 2106 is sixth. 2107 is seventh. 2108 is fourth. 2109 is 10th. 2110 is a scratch. 2111 was third. 2112 is eighth. We're now ready to select our Division 9 polled champion reserve females. The Division 9 pole champion female is sponsored by Jeff's Cattle Company, Tony and Brandy Jeffs of Stephenville, Texas. The reserve is sponsored by Moore Cattle Company, Madill, Oklahoma. We want to once again thank our title sponsor of this year's National Junior Heifer Show. They've been longtime supporters here, and we appreciate the support from Biozyme and VitaFerm, St. Joe, Missouri.
To win a show, many details must align. One of the biggest challenges in managing livestock is to maintain consistency in their environment and temperature as the weather changes. We move them in and out of barns and we go on the road. Heat stress oftentimes keeps animals from performing their best. This, coupled with all the additional stressors that the show environment creates, is why we created SureChamp Extreme with climate control. SureChamp Extreme with climate control is a pelleted nutritional supplement formulated to combat the negative impact of changes in environment and temperature for cattle, pigs, sheep, and goats. SureChamp Extreme includes the prebiotic Amifirm to amplify nutrient supply through increased intake, digestibility, and absorption, resulting in stimulated appetite. SureChamp Extreme includes plant extracts designed to help support animals during extreme temperatures, as well as garlic, a natural insect repellent. It also contains biotin and zinc for additional hoof and hair care. Top dress SureChamp Extreme daily. Cattle should receive 4 to 8 ounces. Pigs, sheep, and goats should receive 2 to 4 ounces. SureChamp Extreme is available in 25-pound buckets as well as 50-pound bags.
Your division lineup in this second senior yearling or second junior yearling division of January's. You got entry in 1996. That's a Crackerjack heifer shown by Rebecca Moore from Madill, Oklahoma. Out of class 123, you've got a Sensation 2296 shown by Alexis Black from Streeter, Illinois. Out of class 124, you have the Aventus out of the Perfect Timing cow from Sage Crabs. Out of class 125, you've got another 2296 shown by Carson Fahey from New Windsor, Maryland. Out of class 126, you've got Piper Collier showing a 5280 out of a Miles McKee daughter. Really nice heifer that comes out of 126. Out of 127, you've got Austin Matheny with a leader heifer. Again, if you want to combine show heifer with performance, you can pick up that heifer there. And out of 128, you're going to have the Miles McKee Diana heifer, which is a big, stout, powerful female, a lot of bone, a lot of size. Be looking maybe for Sage Crabs and Piper Collier to come out of this division, maybe. Several good heifers in this division, but that Sage Crabs heifer sure matches up with what they've been picking. Also, out of the fourth class, that 2296 shown by Carson Fahey looks an awful lot like the Crabs heifer, so we'll see what the judges do. judges have it narrowed down between Sage Krebs' heifer and the heifer out of the first class, which is a crackerjack heifer from Rebecca Moore. And the more she turns her, the more mass and style you see in that heifer. And man, she is the color they want for sure. She is really, really dark colored. She's got the package.
Well, I do have a few faults. One of them is I sometimes have an opinion formed before I get them all back out here, and I probably had an opinion, and as I get them back out here, at least I'm a big enough boy to say, but maybe my opinion needed to change. And partly it changes because I think the heifer that surprises me the most is she's apparently had a little bit of an attitude adjustment, and she looks just completely different because she's not out here wrestling this young man around and fighting herself. And again, I said that I call her out a little bit on her shoulder. I don't know that she's still perfect, but she still is one that I think just has so much uniqueness to her. And so, you know, even though I knew she was going to be a player, I probably didn't give her as much credit as I do out here in this final drive. There are three heifers for me. The first heifer, which I was kind of counting on because I like this one so well underneath. I tell you, to put a foot that belongs on a Clydesdale under one, and yet bone that's not too excessive. I mean, like I said in class, she's got a lot of bone, but it's not the round, coarse bone. The muscle, the flexibility that she has, I think she's pretty cool. I like her length of body. You know, not the sexiest one we've used in her head, her neck, and her chest, but good enough. You know, and I knew before they come back out here, this would be one that I like because she represents a lot of things that I think are truly important in breeding cattle, and I still think she is a major player. The young man that got beat up in class, in the third class, that heifer again, I think she's just really, really unique. She has got such a nice look, a feminine look, and yet length of body. And I guess what I thought is cool in class and even out here, that hip design is really good. I think she's so good built in her pins. The design of her hind leg is really good. I said in class, and I still think even this fall, that thing could be lethal. You know, she's got the right kind of rib shape. As that baby keeps growing inside of her and we keep developing that female there, I just think she has gas still left in the tank. I still really like her today, but I think she's also one that continues to get better as she matures and grows, because I don't have quite as many worries about her and her chest and her jaw and the front third. You know, the shape of her neck, it probably doesn't concern me as much as maybe some of the other heifers out here. And then the young lady that won, actually she would be standing third from last, that dark red heifer. She's a modest female in framework out here. I told John that, you know, that one, again, her structure is nice, her design, she's just good. She's pretty fault-free, but she's not a show heifer. She's so lazy-headed. It's kind of slung a little low off her neck anyway, and the fact that she just can't get her ear perked up and really give you that presence that she needs, she doesn't capture your attention quite as quickly as some of the others out here. But again, I like her because she has great feet, great structure, her skeleton's built right into her, and yet she still possesses enough muscle and rib and looks like a female. So those are the three. I guess, again, I've talked a lot with John, and he's being pretty indifferent, but honestly, we get him back out here, and I'm going to switch my mind before what I thought was going to be done before it happened, but I really think the heifer that suits me best and really kind of keeps us in time with what we've been doing in most divisions is the heifer that comes out of Class 3. She's going to be our champion. Congratulations.
Your Division 9 champion female comes out of Class 124. She's entry 2037. Churchill Lady 7144E, exhibited by Sage Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. That brings in the second place female out of that class, entry 2031 for the reserve selection.
Again, that is the Sage Crabs heifer.
Her classmate's nice too. You know, we said that she's real loose and flexible, and again, she can scat with the best of them out here. Again, just a little too much for me up front. She doesn't have the presence, but boy, she's long and deep and good-legged. We'll go back down here. We'll pick our first class winner up. She'll be our reserve in the division. Congratulations to you.
That heifer's going to be Cracker Jack, shown by Rebecca.
Your
Moore,
reserve
entering
Division 9
1996,
champion comes out of class
CMCC.
122. She's entering 1996.
Explicit.
Rebecca Moore, Madill, Oklahoma, with CMCC Explicit T 749E. Congratulations. We'll be ready to go back to horn females. This will be the final division of horn females. Class 129, heifers born November 3rd to December 16th, 2016.
As you heard Eddie announce, we're going to go right back into our horn division. These are going to be your senior yearling heifers starting to come out here now. These are going to be fall heifers. We're going into class 129. These heifers are going to be born from November the 3rd through December the 16th. Not a giant class this time, but there'll be plenty of them. There will be three classes in this division. And these will be all your fall senior yearlings in the horn division. The three classes will go all the way from August the 4th through December the 16th. This first class, 9 heifers in it. They look like senior yearlings. Go right to pulling these heifers out. You got 1243, 1242, 1243 is a 3209 from Burns, shown by Mason Collins from Lewisburg, Tennessee. And 1242, that's going to be a 2296 from the Barber family, shown by Tanner Reynolds in Channing, Texas. I guess they were just turning those heifers around, not getting pulled just yet. So the 1242 heifer is going to be first in this class. That's the 2296 from Tanner Reynolds to Channing, Texas. The second heifer, that's Audrey Nolan. Audrey Nolan, that's a copper. Third place heifer is going to be entry 1248. That's a next level, shown by the Barron family from Lenapaw, Oklahoma. And fifth place, that's 1245. That'll be a Miles McKee out of Shelby. Sixth will be 1253. It's from Carter St. John. That's a Duncan. Fourth place in this class is actually going to be 1244. That's shown by Thomas and Taylor Boatman from Rockford, Illinois. That's sired by a Catapult son.
Boy, we've kind of talked about how cattle can get pretty big and out of control on size and weight. We're starting to see that just a little bit in here. But we've got a couple that I think are useful for this age division. Cowie in their makeup. This first heifer, too, is equipped with a nice set of genetic values to kind of go along with it. She's just real maternal looking. She's smooth. She's deep. She's good at the ground. You know, like many, I told John, boy, if we just could freshen that thing up in the lower third, you know, the top side of her neck is shaped right. She don't have a lot of fat in her top. It's just kind of where they tend to deposit it and keep it. It's right down there. It's just hard to get rid of it, isn't it? That's good heifer. I think she wins it pretty handily. John and I both agree. This one's big enough in second. You know, she looks kind of tiny out here, but I think that's a pretty good sized cow. Has some evidence of calf inside her, the way she's shaped in her ribs. She's got some presence to her. And she probably doesn't go quite as correctly off her hind leg as the heifer we have winning in the class, but to me, she's a logical follow here in second just because of design and type and kind. I mean, the heifer in third here, I like her freshness, her length. You know, she's real attractive. Just a big old baby inside of that one with an udder starting to make up could make this thing more of a class contender than me sticking you in third. You know, she's just too far behind right now in the presentation of any kind of a calf or evidence of calf. And so, again, you've got a lot of things working in the right direction in terms of the condition you have her in, her design, and so forth. I just wish we had a big old baby with a nice udder, because she's going to have a pretty decent udder the way it's shaped so far. This big old rascal here, I don't know what she weighs. I'm pretty sure she passed 1,200 pounds a few days ago. This is a big, stout cow. Too much for me, too much shoulder, a little more coarseness of udder again. I just like to refine that one up. But, ooh, she's power. I mean, she's got a lot of bone. She'd probably raise your herd bull if we can kind of keep the birth weight in check. Really, we have not an issue with weight in any of these other cattle. These things are really pretty big and stout. It's just kind of a matter of keeping them fresh. And I know it's hard. These things have probably been in the show barn for a long time, and it's hard to kind of keep them looking right. But that's really the key, I think, as you get into these coming 2-year-olds, is to just try to keep them fresh and make them look like females.
Class 129, horn females, first place. Entry number 1242, B.R. Drusilla, 6827, exhibited by Tanner Reynolds, Channing, Texas. Second place, entry 1246, N.H. She's a Treasure, D1101, exhibited by Audrey Nolan, Gilmer, Texas. Third place, entry 1248, exhibited by Julia, Sam, and Olivia Barron, Lenapaw, Oklahoma. Fourth place, entry 1244, exhibited by Cade and Kendall Boatman, Rockford, Illinois. Fifth place, entry 1243, exhibited by Mason Collins, Lewisburg, Tennessee. Sixth place, entry 1245, exhibited by Abigail and Sam Greiman, Perry, Iowa. Seventh place, entry 1253, exhibited by Carter St. John, Pell City, Alabama. Eighth place, entry 1247, exhibited by Ryan and Colby Rogers, Eatonville, Washington. In ninth place, entry 1240, exhibited by Wade, Montana, Wyatt, and Wynn Lawrence, Princeton, Minnesota. To recap the class, it starts with 1240. She was ninth. 42 was first. 43 was fifth. 44 was fourth. 45 was sixth. 46 was second. 47 was eighth. 48 was third. 52 was a scratch. And 53 was seventh. In the ring now is class 130 horn females, born October 2nd to October 28th, 2016.
These heifers in the ring right now, these are going to be your October senior yearlings in the horn division. There's about 3 heifers out here. There's a 1257 heifer that's a copper, shown by Savannah West. It's a pretty nice heifer. The heifer that was first to come in, a chosen one, shown by Alexis Black from Streeter, Illinois. And then they're going to follow that up with a Jade Stone, I believe. That's going to be a Mason heifer, 1259. So he's going right to the mic.
All right, John and I both agree. You know, again, the stage of her life, she, even though it's not a pretty udder, she is starting to build one. She's fresh. We got her in good rig within this class here. She moves nicely. I think one to kind of hang your hat on and get started, and then from there we can do a lot of different things. But this is where you have to go, I think, to win this class. This is a big, powerful bovine here in second. Again, just muscle everywhere and bone. More coarseness comes with it. She doesn't travel as true out of her front end as she needs to. And again, the biggest hiccup I see on her and the heifer that follows her, there just needs to be more evidence of a calf coming here in September and just some udder starting to form and shape, and we don't see that in either one of these two heifers. This one's toned down a little bit in her mature size and weight. Same kind of build and package, though. There is just a ton of muscle in that one there. For us, she's just a little, maybe, again, not maternal enough looking, I guess, in the way that she's shaped in her rib. But those two there, they fit together because of stoutness and power. There's just more cow, obviously, than the one in second. Sweetheart, your heifer is really nice. She's just a little fat. You know, I like the femininity. I think if we would have kept this one leaner, we sure would recognize she's a lot nicer made in her jaw and chest and shoulder. But, again, with the extra conditioning, it's kind of gotten her just looking a little unladylike. And so I think she's got a lot of good pieces in terms of volume. She's acceptable in structure. We just need to freshen her up.
Placings in Class 130, Horn Females. First place, entry 1255, Delhawk, Vienna, 1608, exhibited by Alexis Black, Streeter, Illinois. Second place, entry 1257, BR Fallon, 6801, exhibited by Savannah West, Channing, Texas. Third place, entry 1259, exhibited by Jade Stone, Stanton, Texas. Fourth place, entry 1258, exhibited by Caitlin and Kylan Cole Scott, Crawford, Oklahoma. Fifth place, entry 1254, exhibited by Sydney Lackey, Lizzie, Texas. Sixth place, entry 1260, exhibited by Hudson and Harrison Hutton, Liberty, South Carolina. And seventh place, entry 1263, exhibited by Cooper and Madeline Weber, Moegoat, Kansas. Recap the class. It starts with 1254. She was fifth. 55 was first. 57 was second. 58 was fourth. 59's third. 1266. 62's a scratch. And 1263 was seventh. Coming into the ring now is Class 131 Horn Females. Immediately following this would be selecting Division 6 Champion Reserve Horn Females.
Got a class of August, September senior yearlings in the ring right now. This is class 131. And following this class, we'll have our Horn Division Championship and these summer heifers. Rebecca Moore from Medill, Oklahoma's got an 88X in this class out of that Kool-Aid points heifer. Did so much winning yesterday. That cow produced a lot of winners yesterday. She looks really nice. There's another 88X X in this class that is very moderate frame, but a really nice package. Shown by Taylor and Tori Miller from Lebanon, Missouri, and there's a purple womanizer heifer in here that's pretty flashy, long-bodied in 1270, shown by Owen Stahlbaumer from O'Connell, Nebraska. Well, he's pulling uppers. He's pulling the 88X entry at 1266 from Miller's. He's also pulling the Rebecca Moore heifer, 1271. She got pulled. There's a Laramie, shown by Caden and Raker Johnston, Jay, Oklahoma.
going to bet last year they said your heifer's too small, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what she weighs. And again, I'm not out here to prove anything. I think if I'm going to take cows home and turn them out, and again, is whatever kind of environment you want to stick them in, I just feel a little more confident in what we're able to do here on this first one. And, you know, she's built right, designed right. She's making an udder. It's going to be a pretty nice one. Her structure is acceptable. She's a little square head, a little plain up front. I mean, she's, again, not super fancy, but just practical. And her size, her mature weight fits me better than the heifer here in second. Again, this is a big, growthy heifer. You like them bigger, then you definitely think, well, I'm an idiot and I need to switch them, and that's fine. You know, this thing here, for as big as she is, she still handles it pretty good in terms of her structure. Again, I just think that one needs to be showing some evidence of, you know, calving sooner than she is. She really has just not enough udder development, and quite honestly, she's just too big for me. This one here is really fresh, and kudos, she is making an udder, and it's going to be pretty decent. She's a little sluggish in the way that she travels, and I guess my other concern with that one, knowing she does have a pretty good sized calf in her, is there just naturally enough body in that one there. So again, a couple little things give me just a little bit of a concern, but nice female, very fresh, and again, I do tip my hat to her for putting an udder together in a calf. And same with this next one here. This heifer here is starting to build one. She's really long. Probably, again, I'd say the same thing here. She's probably just naturally not got enough body to her. And then we get up on the front side of her, I don't think she's quite as good looking, quite as nice about her head and her neck as the heifer we had ahead of her just in third there. So again, nice class, challenging, but I think just a pretty practical one on the top end.
Class 131, placings. First place, entry 1266, MH, Miss Ribeye 6678, exhibited by Torrey and Taylor Miller, Lebanon, Missouri. Second place, entry 1275, BK, Dottie Girl 8038D, exhibited by Rebecca Moore, Madill, Oklahoma. Third place, entry 1272, exhibited by Carly Coulterman, Garland, Nebraska. Fourth place, entry 1271, exhibited by Raker and Caden Johnston, J, Oklahoma. Fifth place, entry 1265, exhibited by Brinley, Jalen, and Danica Davis, Maple Hill, Kansas. Sixth place, entry 1270, exhibited by Owen Stahlbauer, O'Connor, Nebraska. Seventh place, entry 1274, exhibited by Peyton Vogel, Hartley, Iowa. Eighth place, entry 1267, exhibited by Taylor and Cole Dyball, Little River, Kansas. Ninth place, entry 1269, exhibited by Karsten Brenner, Alma, Kansas. To recap the class, it starts at 1265. She was fifth. 1266 was first. 1267 was eighth. 1268 was a scratch. 1269 was ninth. 1270 was sixth, 1271 was fourth, 1272 was third, 1274 was seventh, and 1275 was second. We're now selecting our Division 6 Horn Champion Reserve. The Champion Award is sponsored by Moore Cattle Company, Madill, Oklahoma. The Reserve Division is sponsored by Lookout Ridge Farm, Boulder, Colorado. Once again, we'd like to thank our title horn female sponsor of the show, Louderman Cattle Company and Louderman Auction Options, Macomb, Illinois.
The Louderman family is proud to partner with the National Hereford Junior Association in educating and guiding the next generation of Hereford producers.
Our ceiling should be the next generation's floor. As they move on, and the knowledge that they've gained and we've provided them hopefully takes them to the next step and makes it bigger and better on down the line.
Mainly it's because of this junior association that I've learned what I've learned, and I'm where I am today.
Louderman is a family-owned and operated seed stock operation, and Louderman is a name frequently heard in the winner's circle across the nation.
Everybody wants to win, but that's not how we can particularly define success as a whole.
You know, our success is determined or measured by our customers' success. We've got several families that we've done business with and sold cattle to for multiple generations.
4 generations of experience, a tradition of results. Louderman is a nationally recognized name in real estate, machinery, equipment, and livestock sales.
We're going to try to move along. I know some of you probably been here 2 days at this show and waiting to show, and you finally get in this division. This will be our champion. I think she sticks out here, pretty simple to use. She's good looking. Young lady, you're going to have the reserve champion. Congratulations. You bet.
Your Division 6 Horn Female Champion comes out of Class 130. She's entry 1255. Delhawk, Vienna, 1608, exhibited by Alexis Black, Streeter, Illinois. Your reserve comes out of Class 131. She's entry 1266. MH, Miss Ribeye, 6678, exhibited by Torrey and Taylor Miller, Lebanon, Missouri. We're now ready to go back into our pole division. This will be the final division of pole females. Class 132, heifers born November 18th to December 30th. We would like to let everyone know that during our champion drive, we will show the horn divisions, or for horn champion female first. The horn divisions will show first for champion. Then we'll do the poles. And during those champion drives, we will be announcing several awards. We'll be doing the Super State Awards. We'll be giving out the Walter and Joe Lewis Senior Award. We'll be doing Herdsman of the Year and the Golden Pitchfork Awards. So we ask all those juniors to be close at ringside. We will be doing those during our champion drives.
Well, in that final horn division, the champion was entry number 1255. As a Delhawk bred heifer, sired by Chosen One and shown by Alexis Black from Streeter, Illinois. And your reserve in that division was entry number 1266. That was an 88X heifer shown by Torrey and Taylor Miller from Lebanon, Missouri. The winner in that division, a little more extension out through her front end, through her body. She's a real long-bodied female. Gets around the ring really easy. The heifer that was reserved in that division was a little more of a powerhouse, just a moderate frame powerhouse. Huge rib, huge expression of muscle. Probably not the most extended up through her front end, but a real tank of a cow prospect that one is, that 88X from the Millers. So we're going to move in and finish up, show our last division of polled heifers here, and it starts out with class 132. 132, these heifers are going to be calved. These are going to be November and December senior yearlings in the polls. They go from November 18th to December the 30th. It's a good size class. About 12 heifers in this class. So big class of heifers, but they're making pretty quick work of it. Looks like they're going with entry 2128 to start this class. 2128, that's another 2296 shown by Mason Allen from Schulenburg. 2117 is in second currently. That's a Sundance Kid heifer from Bailey Morrell out Willis, California. Barry and Carrie. Bailey's mother and dad, good friends of mine from years ago when I was a fieldman out there.
All right, we get started, and thanks. This one makes my job feel a little easier out here, and this is, again, a really nice one to latch into. It's hard to keep them fresh and keep them looking like a female. Done an excellent job with this one here. She's just so ladylike and yet excellent in her cow size, excellent at the ground. I think she has a lot of presence, and it's going to be a lot of fun to get her back out here in this division and see how we stack up with the classes behind her. This is a nice heifer in second. Again, ultra fresh. Her length of body's good. Probably not got enough power in her hind leg, but tell you what, she fits me from the standpoint of the conditioning you've kept her in and the rig you got her in. I think she looks good. Again, I think just some presence of a calf and making an udder would just make that heifer almost even quite a bit better if we could. Next heifer is extremely stout to the point that she's just got a little more coarseness up in her neck and her shoulder. She struggles a little bit more on both ends, but boy, she is square built. She's got a lot of hip in her. And I've said it probably 1,002 times the last couple of days. There's a lot of you in the barn that like these kind, obviously, because we raised a lot of them. If you like them square built and wide all the way at the ground, then you're a lot bigger fan of her than I am. I just think she needs to be refined up a bit more. Again, I just would encourage this young lady, if we'd gotten her bred sooner and gotten a bigger calf in this one here, we probably could have moved her up a notch because she has the length and refinement to her that I like. She just looks too empty out here. We just need to have a big old calf inside of her, but I like her length. I like her structure. Same with the next heifer. I think she's got some value as a cow, very feminine looking in her appearance, just a little flatter built, a little narrow constructed, and just like the heifer ahead of her, we just need a bigger midsection, this one here with a little more body volume.
Placings in Class 132, polled females. Placings in Class 132, polled females. First place, entry number 2128, BACC, Georgia K, 629, exhibited by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Second place, entry number 2117, M, Sunshine and Whiskey, 1701, exhibited by Bailey Morrell, Willows, California. Third place, entry number 2124, exhibited by Gavin Cherry, Winthrop, Iowa. Fourth place, entry 2120, exhibited by Katie Knowles, Bassett, Nebraska. Fifth place, entry 2125, exhibited by Houston Hutton, Pekin, South Carolina. Sixth place, entry 2114, exhibited by Kaylee Hammond, Jacksboro, Texas. Seventh place, entry 2129, exhibited by Regan and Jordan Mitchum, Vail, North Carolina. Eighth place, entry 2118, exhibited by Coatland Cross, Kinderdale, Pennsylvania. Ninth place, entry 2122, exhibited by Madison and Salem Sifford, Snow Camp, North Carolina. 10th place, entry 2121, also exhibited by Madison and Salem Sifford, Snow Camp, North Carolina. 11th place, entry 2127, exhibited by Kelsey Decker, Pinkerton, Ohio. 12th place, entry 2115, exhibited by Bella and Madison Presnell, Randolph, Minnesota. Recap of the class. It starts with 2114. She was 6th. 2115 was 12th. 2117 was 2nd. 2118 was 8th. 2120 was 4th. 2121 was 10th. 21-22 was ninth. 23 was a scratch. 24 was third. 25 was fifth. 26 was a scratch. 27 was 11th. 21-28 was first, and 21-29 was seventh. In the ring now is Class 133 polled females, range in age from October 23rd to November 17th, 2016.
Well, folks, we're moving into a set of November, October, November senior yearlings. Just watching them as they come in. Some of the heifers you like, maybe this first heifer that comes out, 2130. That's an Aventis heifer. There's a 2136 heifer. It's an 88X. She's a pretty nice little heifer that might come out of there. Callie Volek from Agenda, Kansas has that one. Right behind her, there's going to be a Hoemaker, and that's bred by Blake Tucker, shown by Brady and Kylie Allen from Lamar's, Iowa. That's a pretty nice heifer right there. I like that Hoemaker. 2148 would be a Catapult heifer, shown by Hudson Myers from Edmond, Oklahoma. And down through the class, there's a Launch heifer in here that's bred by the Burns family. There's a Lauren Wingler from Christiana, Tennessee, showing that heifer, and she's a Launch, which is a Catapult son. Those are kind of the first preliminary glance heifers that I like. We'll see if I match up. Starting to pull some heifers out. 2137, 2142.
Hey, thanks for clapping. It's been a long day for everybody, a long 2 days, and these young people, they deserve it, man. They've been here a long time waiting to get in class. These two heifers soared up for both John and I rather quickly, and again, it's just pretty basic. You know, this one looks like the female, her neck shape, her shoulder, her conditioning is good. She's sounder out of her front end. Her teat size is more right. I just think there's just more quality in this one. That's just the way I'm going to put it. You know, the other one's bigger, stouter, heavier bone, got more weight, la-di-la-di-la. To me, this is just a better quality heifer that's going to win the class. So both of them are quite nice. And I think both of them, again, the hind leg on the heifer in second is okay. I'm just, again, going to pick on her up front. It'd be her shoulder, her front end. I'd like to change her, you know, maybe freshen her up a little bit. But she's just a little coarser in her teats, her head, and everywhere else. But I think that's a very logical heifer to follow her in second. Heifer in third, let's go ahead and we'll peel her out here. A good-bodied female, very feminine. I like her head and her neck. I like the depth of rib cage that she has. She's maybe a tick more refined in her bone work. The big thing, if you'll look at this heifer's hind leg, you know, she's kind of sharp in the cap of her hock and just doesn't have enough substance to bone to really kind of match the extra body volume that it has. So it tends to throw her just a little out of kilter from a balance standpoint. But she has refinement. She's got a big old calf inside of her. You can tell that, and starting to develop a pretty nice udder. This one here just needs to be cleaned up front. You know, she is massive and powerful. We pulled her out because, again, I think we need to, you know, recognize one that has that kind of power and mass. She still moves pretty good off her hind legs. She's just, again, as we've said a lot of times, just too much fat deposited down in through her chest floor. So, again, thanks for being here, group. A nice class, and I think a good pair of heifers on the top end.
Placings in Class 133, polled females. First place, entry number 2144, CHF, TTF, Savannah 6618, exhibited by Callie Taylor, Petersburg, West Virginia. Second place, entry 2148, BACC Kylie 618, exhibited by Hudson Myers, Edmond, Oklahoma. Third place, entry 2137, exhibited by Kylie and Brady Allen, Lamar's, Iowa. Fourth place, entry 2142, exhibited by Braxton Lane Light, Rogersville, Tennessee. Fifth place, entry number 2130, exhibited by Carly Musser, Otterbein, Indiana. Sixth place, entry number 2132, exhibited by Foster Wingler, Christiana, Tennessee. Seventh place, entry 2146, exhibited by Owen Griffith, Delta, Pennsylvania. Eighth place, entry 2140, exhibited by Taylor Mars, Macomb, Oklahoma. Ninth place, entry 2136, exhibited by Callie Valek, Agenda, Kansas. 10th place, entry 2150, exhibited by Lauren Wingler, Christiana, Tennessee. 11th place, entry 2131, exhibited by Kendall Hewitt, Branchville, New Jersey. 12th place, entry 2151, exhibited by Melanie and Wesley Fischel, Kernersville, North Carolina. To recap the class begins with entry 2130. She was 5th. 2131 was 11th. 32 was 6th. 35 was a scratch. 36 was 9th. 37 was 3rd. 40 was 8th. 41 was a scratch. 42 was 4th. 44 was 1st. 46 was 7th. 48 was 2nd. 50 was 10th. And 2151 was 12th. In the ring now is Class 134, polled females, range in age, October 1st to October 22nd.
Got a big class of October senior yearlings here. This will be class 134. These go in age from October 1st through October the 22nd. Really nice heifers out here. There's a copper out here, 2154, big powerful heifer shown by Hardy Edwards from Winterville, Georgia. There's another heifer that you might like in this class from the Allen family, Mallory Phelps bred. This is a catapult out of Mirror Image. Certainly one they're going to like. They're pulling several heifers out of this, so it's 2163, perfect timing heifer that's been pulled. The Harrison family from Montague, California has that heifer. A couple of really nice heifers getting pulled into this bottom cut. You got a 2154. It's an awful nice effort to get pulled in sixth in this class. The 2154 heifer's the Barber heifer. That's the copper, shown by Hardy Edwards from Winterville, Georgia. She's going to lead off your second cut. The heifer's that are have been pulled out in the front. Again, is going to be 2166. That is a Mallory Phelps bred heifer that Tyler Allen's showing. Really, really powerful female. She's got a 110 yearling weight, as well as being a really, really nice heifer. Your fifth place heifer is going to be 2162. That's the Delhawk heifer, chosen one, shown by Lindsey Black from JNHE, Iowa. Fourth place heifer will be 2164. That's a Mason, shown by the Cantrells from Collinsville, Oklahoma. Third place heifer is going to be 2163. That's the perfect timing to the Harrison family at Montague, California.
Well, again, you know, this one just says, hey, you got to look at him. You got to keep looking at him. She just kind of commands your attention. Just so good. You've done a great job in keeping this one right on track in terms of conditioning for me. Again, there's probably other people that say, well, she's not, but I would ignore that. I think that one is dialed in on condition. She's perfect in terms of her skeleton. She's heads up, alert. You know, both these heifers obviously have babies inside of them. They're starting to look like mamas. This one's just stronger in her hind leg too. I mean, not only she gets your attention when you watch her stopped here, perched and put together, but then when she travels, I think she just has more strength in the hind leg and the way she sets down in her foot as compared to the heifer in second. Because honestly, dear, when she walked in, I thought, daggone, this one here is going to play with the last one, you know, and she is that good. And I told the young lady who was third, I said, you know what, you could have picked a whole different class to get into, because there's three excellent heifers here in this class. This one here, again, quality is good. Structure is good, not quite as perfect in her hind leg as the one that beat you, but really a lot of it's just here. You know, that heifer is so alert in her ear. She's got her head up, and it's not nothing you did wrong showing. I mean, you've done a great job at that. That one's just built a little deeper in her jaw and her neck and down into her chest. But again, you've got her in great condition. She's making a nice little udder. That's just a really good female. And if that heifer wouldn't have walked in, you would have been winning the class. Young lady in third, again, I told her, I said, man, this is a tough class. She's got an excellent female. She, too, is just as bold in her heart and big in her belly as anything in here. Still good in her skeleton underneath. A little interesting, you know, she's kind of got a different neck shape to her. She gets just a little bulky right above her sternum here where that neck is set up in her, but I like that one a great deal, too. I think she's got a world of presence, and unfortunately, there was a lot of classes throughout the last 2 days. We would have loved to have something like this to tie into and start with, but you ran into a pretty good competitive class out here today. Another heifer that I thought was quite nice when they first walked in, and this is one of those deals when they continue to come at you, like, you know, this one's probably not going to end up in the top three, and she doesn't. She doesn't probably have enough midsection, but she's big and long body. She's one of those that's really alert up and through her front end. And again, I think she's acceptable in structure to make a cow. I don't know that we're going to get in the show ring and brag about how dead on she is in her hind leg, but we turn her out as a cow. I don't think there's going to be issues with her in terms of longevity. And then the last heifer that we pulled, again, I think there's some function to her. She's a little plainer in her hock, just in general, a little plainer in her design, but her length of body, her depth, her smoothness is certainly good enough.
Placings in Class 134, polled females. First place, entry 2166, BACC Hadley 612, exhibited by Tyler Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Second place, entry 2156, GKB Breeze 6161, exhibited by Kylie Evans, Kaufman, Texas. Third place, entry 2163, exhibited by Hadley and Hannah Harrison, Montague, California. Fourth place, entry 2164, exhibited by Parker and Karsten Cantrell, Collinsville, Oklahoma. Fifth place, entry 2161, exhibited by Grace Jester, Gunter, Texas. Sixth place, entry 2154, exhibited by Hardy Edwards, Winterville, Georgia. Seventh place, entry 2167, exhibited by Connor and Peyton Dunn, Republic, Missouri. 8th place is entry 2162, exhibited by Lindsey Black, Chariton, Iowa. 9th place, entry 2153, exhibited by Devin Moore, Brenham, Texas. 10th place, entry 2158, exhibited by Allison and Austin Folkman, Exonia, Wisconsin. 11th place, entry 2152, exhibited by Madison and Ashley Melcher, Page, Nebraska. Recap on the class. It starts with 2152. She was 11th. 2153 is 9th. 2154 is 6th. 2155 is a scratch. 56 was 2nd. 58 was 10th. 59 is a scratch. 61 was 5th. 2162 was 8th. 63 was 3rd. 64 was 4th. 66 was 1st. 2167 was 7th. And 69 is a scratch. In the ring now is class 135 polled females, range in age from September 9th to September 25th.
We're now in the class of September senior yearlings. They go from September the 9th through September the 25th. Big class. Looks like 12 head again in this class. Had a pretty good size heifers, but just first glance, I would tell you this would be one of the better classes of senior yearlings that we've seen today. They're going to pull just over half of this class out. I think we're not doing exactly, there we go, now we're back on track. We're going to pull 7 heifers out to lead off this class, and then 2170, real nice Mr. Hereford heifer from Allie Schrammel at Orlando, Oklahoma. She's going to wind up being the top of the second cut. But she pulled right in there like she expected to be in the class, because that's where she usually is. Tell you about some of the heifers that are in the pool. Entry 2172. That's going to be a Tanqueray out of Gabrielle 9124, shown by Riley and Braden Barber from Channing, Texas. Riley's on the stick out there with her. That's Texas Rose. Heifer's done a lot of winning over the years. Some other heifers that came out of this, you're going to have entry 2181. 2181's an Apache, shown by Jillian Emerson from Prairie Grove, Arkansas. 2180. 2180 is going to be a 2296, shown by Ben Jensen from Cortland, Kansas, out of a Zaza cow. 2182. That's going to be a purple womanizer, shown by Nathan Hopkins from Winchester, Tennessee. The heifer placing 7th. Pulling across. 7th is 2163 or 2173. That's going to be a true grit. 2174 will be 6th. That'll be a purple revolt, shown by Natalie Pipstick. 2181, the Apache. She'll wind up being 5th. 2177 is an 88X, shown by Audrey Korniak from Rensselaer, Indiana. We got it down to 3, 2180, 2182, and 2172. 2182 is a purple womanizer. 2180 is a 2296. And 2172, that's going to be a Tanqueray. Three really nice heifers.
All right, we'll go ahead and get things kind of organized here. And this class, John turned to me as we were starting to pull them. He said, well, this is going to be an interesting group to put together for you. And he's right. This is, again, one of those classes where I am not even near smart enough to tell you what's right or wrong. You're going to get my little simple opinion on them, and that's all we can ask for today. This heifer that starts the class, again, probably the front third bothers me just a tick. She's a little more crested up in her neck. She's not built perfect out of her shoulder and her front end, but she's okay. She is a good heifer from there back. I like her body, her rib cage, some evidence of calf, making an udder. She's stronger in her hip and hind leg. And, you know, for a senior yearling, she's plenty on the big side, but yet there's still something to this one here. We get in behind this one, and she's sure spread right down her top and back into her hip. you know, structurally there are some advantages of the heifer here in second. I think they're both good enough on their hind leg. This one in second is probably a notch better up into her shoulder and down on her front feet. And I've not, again, used many cattle that are plain like this up front, and that's just it. I mean, for me, there's just too much jaw, too much sternum, and you consider how lean she is. There's still just a lot of stuff hanging down there between her front legs, and it just completely throws her out of balance when you get her out here head to tail. So, again, she's making a nice udder. There's a lot of value into that one as a cow. I think the thing that we could argue with this one here, if you want to start with her, is just based on the fact, the idea that she's sounder out of her front end than the heifer we have winning the class. This one's standing. It's easy. You know, I think she wins it pretty handily standing, but I told John, I said, I'm not going to do it. You know, we've got a couple here on the top end that are better structured. We've kind of been trying to stick with that theme all 2 days, and that's what we have to do here. I tell you what, you do a great job getting her presented. She's good looking. She's making a nice udder. She has everything we want until we have to put her on the lead. And it's too painful. You know, it just doesn't work right out of her hip and off her hind legs. Another nice heifer here in fourth. Again, just further behind, it looks like in calf. You know, I don't think she looks near as far along. She's not making the udder, but she's built good. She's designed nice. She's very feminine. Again, I said in one of the first class of falls we looked at, I want these things to look like they're starting to be a mom, okay? And that one there is not giving me the indication that she's that close to being a mom yet. Another good heifer here. Again, as you kind of look at this one here from the side, I thought she kind of sure fit together with the cattle that we pulled, with the exception that she's just not quite as good as in her lower third in terms of her chest, but a good functional kind of a female that I think sure has some quality to her. Another real powerful heifer, and really these next two, you know, it's simple for me. They're good cattle, they're powerful, but I don't like the udders. And, you know, we're looking at a young cow, and this is something that I was very fortunate 30, 25 years ago when I came back to K-State and be able to sit in the office of Don Good and Miles McKee and listen to the days of the Herefords, you know, and that would be back in the 40s and the 50s. And one of the things that Miles and Don always said that we didn't do a very good job of, we didn't pay attention to udders along with some other things. And I know we have. We've done a lot better job with it, but those are two cattle there that, you know, it's just not going to work for me from the standpoint of the way they're constructed in their udders.
All right, our placings in class 135, and that means, Scott, here's the class you've been looking for. 136 is coming in the ring, our final class of the evening. Placings in class 135, first place, entry 2172, BR, Texas Rose 6796, exhibited by Riley and Braden Barber, Channing, Texas. Second place, entry 2180, KJ, BJ, Shear 753D, exhibited by Ben Jensen, Cortland, Kansas. Third place, entry 2182, exhibited by Nathan Hopkins, Winchester, Tennessee. Fourth place, entry 2177, exhibited by Audrey Cornack, Rensselaer, Indiana. Fifth place, entry 2181, exhibited by Jillian Emerson, Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Sixth place, entry 2174, exhibited by Natalie and Abigail Pitstick, South Solon, Ohio. Seventh place, entry 2183, exhibited by Claire Silvers, El Dorado Springs, Missouri. Eighth place, entry 2170, exhibited by Allie Schrammel, Orlando, Oklahoma. Ninth place, entry 2185, exhibited by Kylie and Emerson and William Moeller, Grand Island, Nebraska. 10th place, entry 2178, exhibited by Tyler Jenkins, Lafayette, Tennessee. 11th place, entry 2179, exhibited by Will Beckley, Irvine, Kentucky. 12th place, entry 2173, exhibited by Caleb, Faith, and Noah Benedict, Dewey, Illinois. And 13th place, entry 2176, exhibited by Jess, Josie, and Jacob Toombs, Fairplay, Missouri. Recap of the class. Class starts with entry 2170. She's 8th. 2171 is a scratch. 2172 is a first. 2173 is 12th. 2174 is 6th. 2176 is 13th. 2177 is 4th. 2178 is 10th. 79's 11th, 2180's 2nd, 2181's 5th, 82's 3rd, 83's 7th, and 85 is 9th. In the ring now is Class 136, our final class of the day. Heifers range in age from August 2nd to September 7th. Immediately following this, we'll be selecting Division 10 Champion Reserve Polled females. Immediately following that, we'll do our Horn Champion heifer selection, followed by our Polled heifer champion selection. And attention exhibitors, will bring all the reserve divisions, parade them in the ring first, then we'll bring in our division champions.
Well, we're in the final class of the day, folks, and these heifers are going to range in age from August the 2nd through September the 8th. Man, these things are big and full of calf and just ready to go. He's pulled the heifer that I was talking about just right before we got on air here, the 2197 heifer. That's Katie Feldman from Junction City, Kansas. If you don't know Howard Feldman, you're missing out on a treat. Katie's mom and dad are some of the best people you'll ever meet in your life. And that's a really nice bred and owned heifer that she's got out there, sired by one of her own bulls, Big Jake. Four other heifers that he's pulled out. We're going to go with forehead pulled. Quick comment, there's a 2193 heifer. She's going to lead the bottom end of this class, but I tell you, pretty nice heifer, sired by an about time son. Big volume, stout, big-footed female. Next one in line there that winds up 6th, another long body, pretty smooth fronted, smooth shouldered heifer there. Can't see her number. I'll tell you a little bit more about these heifers that he's pulled out to go on the top of this class. So the 4 heifers pulled off, entry 2197 again. That's Katie Feldman from Junction City, Kansas, showing a heifer sired by Big Jake. She's a big, powerful heifer, in my opinion. I feel like she's going to probably win this class. The next heifer would be a Cracker Jack, shown by Heath Quick from Brighton, Tennessee, who is going to stand third in this class. 2191 will stand fourth. That's a Langford 2020 Vision, shown by Julie Schote from Pleasant Hope, Missouri. And there's a 2190 heifer that's going to wind up second. And that's a 2012 heifer shown by Maggie.
Well, we're finally there.
Missouri.
Again, thanks for sticking with us, gang. You are the last class of the day. I know it's not all completely over, but we end on a bang. We got a nice set of cattle out here. Picked these 4 or 5 to kind of look at a little bit closer, and it really boiled down to these 2 for me. And again, as senior yearlings, both of them with calves inside, you can tell that there's just naturally more to the heifer here up front in terms of a rib cage. I like this one a great deal from her first rib back. I think she's going to be a little more petite in her udder. I think her hind legs constructed just a nickel nicer than the heifer here in second. Again, she's got that big whopping rib cage sitting inside of her that I think makes her really broody in her appearance. You know, she's not so fat down in her chest. All of her fat's kind of in the center part of her neck and up, and that's what we'd like to do. If we could take some of the crest out of her neck and just sharpen her neck up, flatten it up a little bit more, I think it would make her an easier winner. Because the presence of the heifer here in second, just because of that, her neatness of lines, you know, her crest of her neck, her throat, the conditioning, I think she's in really good rig in terms of conditioning. You know, I think she has a lot of presence out here. She's got good bone work, just a little tighter built off her hind leg. And again, I think about, you know, a calf that's probably going to be delivered here in about 45 days. How much natural body does she really have? Okay, to me, she can be just a little bit shallow and to be looking from the side, but I think she's an easy mate to pair up here with the heifer that wins the class just because of the quality that she has. The next heifer would be almost identical in what I would say about her. I think she has a lot of presence, and the length is good. Conditioning is good in her. She's a little tighter built in her spine than the one we just talked about, but I would say exactly the same with her with regards to how much natural body does she may or may not have. With the kind of calf that's inside of her, she gets, maybe for me, just a little bit too tight in her heart, just a little tubey in her look. But again, nice job keeping her fresh. She's very long, and again, I think has a lot of reflection of femininity kind of stamped on that one there. This is a big old broody one that we could maybe move up if you like, you know, more power, more punch in them. A little tangle-legged off her rear leg, and again, the udder is just not doing much for me right now. So that's what kind of gets her in a little bit of trouble. I think John has spent some time talking with the other students here in the class, but again, congratulations. It's been a long couple of days, but it's nice to end on a class with this kind of quality.
Katie's heifer just overpowered that class at 21.
Class 136, placings, first place, entry number 2197, KT's Miss Hepburn 604, exhibited by Katie Feldman, Junction City, Kansas. Second place, entry 2190, THA Trinity J614, exhibited by Maggie Ewing, Fordland, Missouri. Third place, entry 2195, exhibited by Heath Quick, Brighton, Tennessee. Fourth place, entry 2191, exhibited by Julie Schote, Pleasant Hope, Missouri. Fifth place, entry 2193, exhibited by Mary Grace Warden, Halfway, Missouri. Sixth place, entry 2188, exhibited by Tate and Paige McCaskill, Timewell, Illinois. Seventh place, entry 2196, exhibited by Harley Watson, Flemingsburg, Kentucky. Eighth place, entry 2187, exhibited by Anna Roth, Altenburg, Missouri. Ninth place, entry 2192, exhibited by Caden Perry, Tower Hill, Illinois. 10th place, entry 2200, exhibited by J.D. Seward, Rockville, Indiana. 11th place, entry 2189, exhibited by Mason and Brady Brown, Burwell, Nebraska. And 12th place, entry 2199, exhibited by Donald Connor, Knoxville, Maryland. To recap the class, starts with 2187. She was 8th. 2188 was 6th. 2189 was 11th. 2190 is 2nd. 2191 is 4th. 2192 is 9th. 93 was 5th. 95 was 3rd. 96 was 7th. 97 was 1st. 98 was a scratch. 99 was 12th. And 2200 was 10th. In the ring now, we're selecting our Division 10 Pole Champion and Reserve females. The Division 10 Champion Award is sponsored by Moore Cattle Company. The Reserve Award is sponsored by Bar One Ranch, Eugene, Oregon. And once again, we want to thank our polled heifer show title sponsor, Hoffman Ranch, Thedford, Nebraska.
Hoffman Ranch is a family-owned and operated cattle ranch located in the Sandhills of Nebraska. There are 3 generations on the ranch to carry on the legacy of proven Hereford genetics to build quality cattle for the progressive commercial cowman. Hoffman Ranch markets 400 Hereford, Angus, and Sem-Angus bulls annually and markets 200 to 400 females and over 1,000 commercial females a year. With leading donors in the business, they rely heavily on their extensive ET program. They have exhibited over 20 Denver champions and sold over 12 Grand and Reserve Grand champions at the Hereford Junior National. On Monday, September 24th, 300 head will be offered during their annual female sale, including the heart of the donor pin, elite show heifers, and bred heifers, selling all registered Hereford females carrying a heifer calf pregnancy. This will be Hoffman's biggest and most complete set of females ever sold. Don't miss this opportunity. Find out more at hoffmanranch.com.
Tyler Allen be showing 2166. That'll be a catapult out of mirror image. Really nice heifer there again.
We also, while we have some time here, we want to thank GKB Cattle, Waxahachie, Texas, Gary and Kathy Buckholtz for the sponsorship of our Super State Award. And if you'll direct your attention to the big screen.
Integrity is the motto here at GKB Cattle and is the very foundation of the operations owners and managers, Gary and Kathy Buckholtz. GKB is one of the premier cattle operations in the great state of Texas, located just 30 miles south of Dallas in Waxahachie. Here at GKB, we sell over 100 registered and commercial bulls annually. Our bulls are designed with integrity. They're going to be honest in their makeup, honest in their age, and honest in their structure and soundness. GKB adds a doing ability that appeals to any cattleman. You're always welcome at GKB. Come take a look at our operation. We will show you as much hospitality as we can. We look forward to meeting you and starting a new friendship.
Continuing what's in here, there's also 2172. That's at September 21st heifer, shown by Riley Barber. That's a Tanqueray out of Gabrielle, 9124. That's Collier stuff. That comb is too. The next heifer in the lineup again is KT's Miss Hepburn. That's shown by Katie Feldman from Junction City, Kansas. Interesting division here. There's 5 usable heifers and really 3 heifers that I think it comes down to. The 2 Allen.
All right, we're not going to delay this anymore. There's 2 heifers that are a lot alike in terms of the way they are presented in conditioning. They're fresh, and again, and I think perfect for senior yearlings in the kind of condition that come to the show, and yet they still preserve as much substance and dimension as anything that we have out here. That's the heifers in Class 1 and Class 3. And I guess for both John and I come up and I independently said I just like the heifer in Class 1 because of really a couple little things. The way she transitions in her shoulder blade into her forerib and in her top, and I just think she just looks like a model cow. You know, she's not the biggest thing in the show that we've seen, but boy, her build, her shape, her femininity, just I think what I would say in a term that we never use anymore, what I would call great breed character in this heifer here, is kind of stamped on the side of that one there. If you like them a little bigger in framework, a little more extended, you know, one and who said in her class she kind of demands your attention because as she gets her head up and she really throws it up high, and just a little more framework, then you probably would like the heifer that comes out of Class 3. I guess I read that one just a little flatter built today, right in behind her shoulder. I don't think she's quite as developed in the middle third of her body. Part of it is because she is bigger and longer. You know, she doesn't have quite that swoop to her rib cage like the younger one does out here. But those are the 2 I like. Fella, I think you've had a heck of a junior nationals, if I remember right. Let's give him a nice hand. He gets to win another division. You're going to be reserved. Congratulations to the 2 of you.
And your Division 10 champion female comes out of Class 132. She's entry 2128, BACC, Georgia K 629, exhibited by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. The Reserve Division champion comes out of Class 134. She's 2166, BACC Hadley 612, exhibited by Tyler Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. All right, folks, we will we've got a couple awards to present while they get the horned champion drive lined up back here. And those of you with the heifers will bring in all the reserve divisions first. We'll parade those in and introduce those. Then we'll do the division champions. But we've got a couple awards to do first. Give us just a minute here.
Well, as you just heard Eddie Burke says, we're going to do a couple of your Pitchfork Awards, Scholarship Awards, and then we'll be right on to the horned Grand Champion female. So stay tuned for that, and we'll let you know about those heifers shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to first start with the selecting of our Horn Champion Reserve female. We're going to parade in first all your Reserve Division champions, and then we'll bring in all the division champions. First off, Horn Division Reserve Division Champion 1 went to entry number 892. She's MCKY Arabella 7862. She was exhibited by Sam, Olivia, and Julia Barron, Lenapaw, Oklahoma. Your Division 2 Reserve Champion, entry 999, Miss J.B. Rosemary 1724, exhibited by Carlisle Brahman, Refugio, Texas. Your Division 3 Reserve Champion female, entry 1034, ECR DM Lady Abigail 7961, exhibited by Devin Moore, Clear Lake, South Dakota. Your Division 4 Reserve Champion female, entry 1124, Soul Dazzling Diana 7311E, exhibited by Peyton Farmer, Brownstown, Indiana. Your Division 5 Reserve Champion female, entry 1171, HBL Marie 718, exhibited by Lex and Fletcher Larson, Valentine, Nebraska. And your Division 6 Reserve Champion female, entry 1266, MH Miss Ribeye 6678, exhibited by Tori and Taylor Miller, Lebanon, Missouri. Folks, give these 5 youth a nice round of applause. Your 5 Reserve Division Horn Champion females. 6 Reserve Divisions. And now your division champions. Your Division 1 champion, entry 941, BK Enchanted Points 7038E, exhibited by Rebecca Moore, Madill, Oklahoma. Your Division 2 champion female, entry 981, HFR Eunice 1776, exhibited by Grady Creamer, Waxahachie, Texas. Your Division 3 champion, entry 1029, Aubrey's Lily 12E, exhibited by Lauren May, Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Your Division 4 champion female, entry 1098, KJ BJ Adabelle 899E, exhibited by Chesney Effling, Highmore, South Dakota. Your Division 5 champion female, entry 1220, DPH Geisha 701, exhibited by Harley and Brody Rogers, Hamilton, Texas. And last but not least, your Division 6 champion female, entry 1255, Del Hawk, Vienna 1608, exhibited by Alexis Black, Streeter, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for your 6th Division champion Horn females?
One of the most coveted and historic awards at the Junior National Hereford Expo is the Walter and Joe Lewis Memorial High Point Senior Award. This award is awarded to the High Point Senior competitor, and it recognizes overall achievement in leadership, teamwork skills, and composition. This afternoon, we are excited to present this year's Walter and Joe Lewis Memorial High Point Senior Award to Miss Courtney Udy from Harrisburg, North Carolina. Courtney, will you make your way to the front of the stage as the National Junior Hereford Association Board of Directors presents you with your belt buckle. Courtney will also receive a $1,000 scholarship from the Hereford Youth Foundation of America. Congratulations to Courtney. At this time, it is my honor to recognize this year's Golden Pitchfork Award winner. This goes to the state that has had the cleanest stalls in the barn and the nicest display, and just has had a nice setup all week here in the barns in Grand Island. And this year's award winner of the Golden Pitchfork goes to the state of West Virginia. West Virginia, please make your way to the photo backdrop, and we will get a photo of you for the Hereford World magazine. It takes a lot of teams to pull an event of this magnitude together, and we've got a lot of great volunteers and sponsors that make this happen. And at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Ryan Ulrich from the state of South Dakota to the front of the stage. We've got a small token of our appreciation for Ryan, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Ryan for leading the host group make things run smoothly. So Ryan, if you could make your way to the front of the stage, we've got a small token of appreciation for you. And I just also want to recognize the South Dakota Hereford and Junior Association managers and advisors, Mark and Jeannie Johnson, Troy and Shannon Rasmussen, Reese and Ellie Jo Wagner, and the entire state of South Dakota, juniors and adults. They're a great group, and I really appreciate all they've done. Let's give them a huge round of applause.
And here's your judge for a few comments on our Horn Hereford selection.
Yeah, few, was that the key word? No, it'll be few. Okay, no sappy remarks here at the end. This has been a really, really great event. Last time we did this, Jack and I were talking about it, and he said probably it'll never happen, well, maybe again, but Tulsa. And those of you who were at Tulsa, it was about 182 degrees every day. Nice in the show ring, but man, we walked out, it was just smoldering heat. And that was a few years ago, and you know, we always are supposed to say this, but it definitely is true. This show has just grown leaps and bounds. It's incredible. And I bet if we was to go through the barn and ask all these exhibitors, are you here today because you think the Hereford cattle are the best cattle in America? Are you here today because you think the Junior Association is the best junior program in America? And I'm pretty sure, Amy, this is my plug for you to get a big raise. They're here because of your program, and there's no doubt about it. And what I like about what your breed is doing, you understand the importance of growing this from the ground up. Okay, we got to start, and I heard you had, what, 70-some pre-Pee-wee showmen in the showmanship contest. So it's a no-brainer. You're doing things right. You know, obviously we fell into that, and we're probably going to fall into that again next year. We had a son show a Hereford last year. He loved it because he wanted to be a part of the Hereford experience. So my hat's off to you guys, and you guys have really grown this. And again, it goes back even prior to the leadership now. course, I'm great friends with your leadership, but you know, you just continue to develop this. You continue to set the bar higher, and there's just no doubt. In fact, I'm not sure where it's going to end. You might have to do this in about a 5-day show if things keep going like they are. So hats off to you. It's been a ton of fun. In fact, 20 years ago, when I was doing a lot of these things, I kind of took a lot of it for granted. You know, I'd say, well, I'm heading to the next show the next day, and I probably didn't recognize the importance, or in all honesty, the honor it is to do this. And as you get put on the back shelf and you don't do as many, and then they ask you to come back out and pull out your boots and your cowboy hat and try it again, it now becomes a big honor. And so we do appreciate the junior members, and golly, you guys are great help. I told Jack last night, I said, you guys have logged on more miles than we have. You kept this thing running, and of course, without your guys' help to get me here and the final blessing from Jack and Shane, we wouldn't have this opportunity. So really been a treat. Show's been incredible. We're going to go out and select you a couple of champions, and then we'll get the poles in here and make another run at another great set of cattle. Let's give Amy, her staff, everybody a great big hand. Would you please? Again, we were pretty excited to get him back in here. I mentioned earlier in the division, I said a lot of times I kind of have my mind made up before it all happens, and you know, I don't have my mind made up until we get these all back out here. I have a pretty good idea what I thought could happen and how cattle kind of come together and how they pair up and how they match. To me, there are really 3 contenders out here. The calf I like. I think that thing is really, really stellar for her age. I think her build is good, her shape is good. I think she's excellent. These 2 heifers right here in front of me, I think are excellent. You know, they're both cattle that represent, in my opinion, the right kind of size. They look like Hereford cattle. Like John commented, he said they look like Hereford cattle, horned Hereford cattle. They have a little more stoutness to them, but yet they still have the refinement, the look of a mama cow that I think all British breeds of cattle need to look like. So those are the 3 that I think we've kind of narrowed it down to. Our favorite, pretty easily, is this heifer right here.
Your grand champion, horned female, comes out of Division 5. She's 1220, DPH Geisha 701, exhibited by Harley and Brody Rogers, Hamilton, Texas.
Okay, and again, you know, I don't want to take anything away from the reserve. She's big, stout, powerful, and I think we kind of said once upon a time in her class, she's kind of a donor cow type of deal. She has extra power and length, and yet still good in her skeleton. She's probably not carved out as nice in her front third, but I tell you what, I like that one a great deal from there on back. The other one that we think just fits so nicely with your champion, maybe just not quite as cool down in her chest, but young lady right here in front of me, she's going to have the reserve champion. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion horned female comes out of Division 4. She's 1098, KJ, BJ, Adabelle 899E, exhibited by Chesney Effling, Highmore, South Dakota. Congratulations. Give us just a moment to kind of reset, and we'll be ready to select our pole champion in reserve.
Okay, I'd like to have at this time all of the Herdsman of the Year nominees. The Herdsman of the Year award recognizes a Hereford junior who excels in sportsmanship, presentation of entries, work habits, honesty, and knowledge about the Hereford industry. This year's nominations for the Herdsman of the Year include Carter St. John from Pell City, Alabama, Nigel Howe from Wagontown, Pennsylvania, Lucas Stump from Columbia, Illinois, Kayla Haar from Jeromesville, Ohio, and Katie Fellman from Junction City, Kansas. I am excited to announce that our 2018 Herdsman of the Year is Miss Katie Fellman from Junction City, Kansas. Katie has been raised around cattle and holds a strong passion for the Hereford breed. She attended her first Junior Nationals in 2008 in Kansas City with 1 heifer. Since then, she has grown her herd to 14 cows, from which she has raised and sold several bulls and produced high-quality females. She has also been fortunate to work with several ranches within the breed and also in other breeds. Working for other operations has allowed her to improve her own operation by gathering new ideas and meeting new people in the beef industry. Katie says it's a very rewarding experience to follow cattle I've bred, from feeding and fitting them for the show ring, and watch them become even better breeding cattle. Congratulations, Katie Fellman. Very well deserved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to parade our pole division champions and reserves in. First, the reserve divisions. Your Division 1 reserve champion, entry 1315, BACC Adora 748, exhibited by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Your reserve champion, Division 2 female, entry 1422, BK Ever After 7063E, exhibited by Victoria Chapman, Mansfield, Oklahoma. Your Division 3 reserve champion, entry 1512, Perks Duncan Gill 7149, exhibited by Lauren McMillan, Tusquala, Illinois. Your Division 4 reserve champion, entry 2208, Ches Skittles 7718E, exhibited by Chesney Effling, Highmore, South Dakota. Your Division 5 reserve champion, entry 1670, VC Easy Pick 753E, exhibited by Victoria Chapman, Mansfield, Oklahoma. Your Division 6 reserve champion, entry 1723, CSF Ramsey Tiva 7E, exhibited by David Hockett, New Palestine, Indiana. Your Division 7 reserve champion, entry 1802, BR Samantha 7031, exhibited by Riley and Rayan Shacker, Dumas, Texas. Your Division 8 reserve champion, entry 1993, CR Kelly 726, exhibited by Sarah Grace Birdsall, Homer, New York. Your Division 9 reserve champion, entry 1996, CMCC Explicit Tees 749E, exhibited by Rebecca Moore, Madill, Oklahoma. And your Division 10 reserve champion female, entry 2166, BACC Hadley 612, exhibited by Tyler Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for your 10 reserve division champions in the pole show? Now your division champions. Out of Division 1, entry 1355, BR Anastasia E114, exhibited by Aiden Braden Riley Barber, Channing, Texas. Your Division 2 champion, entry 1406, HJB, two-time and Cami 175, exhibited by Hardy Malcolm Edwards IV, Winterville, Georgia. Your Division 3 champion, entry 1473, BR Amelia E088, exhibited by Riley Barber, Channing, Texas. Your Division 4 champion female, entry 1568, KLD RW Monica D715, exhibited by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Your Division 5 champion female, entry 1678, KLD RW Mindy's Point D718, exhibited by Seth Tucker, Lindsay, Oklahoma. Your Division 6 champion female, entry 1702, SC Nova 04E, exhibited by Bentley, London, Collinsville, Texas. Your Division 7 champion female, entry 1800, HVM Mallory 7441, exhibited by Carlisle and Madeline Brahman, Refugio, Texas. Your Division 8 champion female, entry 1880, LCC Kiwi 3E, exhibited by Addison and Jalen Kuntz, Thomas, Oklahoma. Your Division 9 champion female, entry 2037, Churchill Ladies 7144E, exhibited by Sage Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. And your Division 10 champion female, entry 2128, BACC, Georgia K 629, exhibited by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's let them hear it. Your champion and reserve divisions from your pole show. while our judges are contemplating their champion selection, we want to give a big shout out and thank you to both of these gentlemen. They've done an excellent job. I don't know for sure exactly how many hours they've been in the ring the last 2 days, but it's several. Dr. Scott Shockey from Westmoreland, Kansas, and John Marinsky from Greeley, Colorado. Folks, give them a nice round of applause. They had a tough job. I know these 20 kids agree with what they done, but maybe everybody else didn't. But, folks, it was their day to do what they felt was right, and that's what they've done. And we appreciate the great job they've done working with the youth the last 2 days, and our hats off to them. We appreciate it, gentlemen.
Just an incredible lineup of heifers out here today. As Eddie stated just a second ago, these two judges have put in countless hours, well over 12, 13 hours yesterday, as well as
the GKB Super States contest was designed to reward the state junior associations for their members' involvements in the contests and exhibition of their cattle throughout the week here at the Junior National Hereford Expo. There are 2 divisions based on the number of cattle that are entered here at the JNHE. We have the less than 25 head division and the 25 head or more division. Points are awarded to the top 3 placings of the individuals or teams, depending on the contest. And in a case where a contest has more than 1 division, points are awarded for each division. So the 2018 large state winner for the GKB Super States contest goes to the state of Texas. The winner in the 25 head or less division goes to the state of North Carolina. We appreciate GKB Cattle for sponsoring our Super States contest. Each state will win $500 and bragging rights for the next year. So congratulations to Texas and North Carolina. We do need a representative from each state to the photo backdrop for an award photo at this time.
Well, the judges are talking this over. It looks like they're about ready to make their selection. We've talked about several. Opinions are varying here amongst the Hereford club goers, but the Bremen heifer out of the third from last division, and possibly the Crabs heifer out of the next to last division. I think Scott's going to make a few comments. It's a lot of really good heifers. Very consistent lineup from top to bottom. We'll just have to see if there's one or two in here they like. Power, style, how they decide to go.
Oh, sorry, took a little more time, but I expected it. We knew this was going to be pretty dicey when we get him back out here, and I told John all I got to do is catch a flight to Canada at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I got quite a bit of time left in me. But I know you all need to get home. This has, I'm sure, been for most of you, a vacation with your family, and the time you spent has been, I'm sure, extremely valuable, but I bet you a lot of you are ready to get home and kind of rest your heels and kick back for a day or two and relax. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, or the mic over to John. I've had in 30 years of coaching at South Carolina and Kentucky and at K-State, you know, an opportunity to, I think, work with some of the very, very best, most talented students that a person could ask for. And a lot of them are sitting right here in this barn. In fact, I feel very fortunate when I think about the direction of this breed, the young people that you have, not only out here, but people that are starting to make these cattle for them. A lot of them went through our program at K-State. We have a very rich tradition of a lot of good Hereford people at Kansas State, and I've been very blessed and honored to coach a lot of them. And like I said, a lot of them are standing here ringside. I'm sure a lot of them had cattle out here, and you just keep on doing the good work. Keep making us proud there at Wildcat Country. John Brzezinski, I would guess if you saw the name come out, you're probably thinking, what in the heck is a sheep kid doing judging the Hereford Junior Nationals? And yes, his father was well known for judging sheep shows, frame sheep shows all over the world. He did, I think, about every one of them. In fact, it seemed like every state fair I was at, I would have dinner with his dad, and because he'd be judging sheep the next day. And but I just want to recognize, you know, John is a very talented stockman. Very few get to claim the title that he had going through judging programs. Very successful at Butler County under the direction of Chris Mullinex. And then when he comes to Kansas State, he was kind of an ornery rascal. Maybe didn't always pay attention, I didn't think. But he ends up in the fall. He was the high individual at the American Royal, third high individual at the North American. And there's very, very few people in 100 years of history of livestock judging contests that can say they've ever done that. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I know John has always had a love for Hereford cattle. In fact, he's trying to disperse his Hereford herd. So if you're interested, we can probably mention that now, John. We probably shouldn't have done it a couple of days ago. But he's taken a new gig on. He will be managing, or he's actually started managing a feedlot here in Colorado. He is a man of many hats, but he spent a lot of time with Steve Gable at Magnum Feed Yards, and has now taken over a management position for another yard. So I'm going to turn this over to John for a few minutes. We're going to select you a couple of champions. We finally come up with a decision. But again, let's give John a great hand, a great young man, and certainly a promising young stockman.
Thank you, guys, and I sure understand what Scott said about my name maybe not being the most recognizable, and that just shows how much respect he has for me, and I can never explain to him how grateful I am for that, and I appreciate everything that he's done the last 2 days for me. As we're out here with the polled heifers, there's one that's such a logical champion to us. On paper, she's incredible. Phenotypically, she's awesome. She's one that hit Scott hard when we first walked out. And young lady, it's a pleasure to shake your hand and congratulate you with your champion polled heifer. For reserve, it got quite a bit closer between 3 heifers. There's the calf on the far end that we just love her shape and her design. She's so attractive from the side. The heifer that comes out of the 4th division is so shapy and so good in her build, one that's got so much power. And then we've got the senior yearling, one that's so flexible. She's stayed fresh. She's one that still looks the part. Scott mentioned to this young man earlier that he thinks that he's having a pretty good weekend, and it's going to continue to get better because he's going to have your reserve polled heifer.
Your grand champion polled female comes out of Division 7. She was entry 1800, HVM Mallory 7441, exhibited by Carlisle and Madeline Brayman, Refugio, Texas. Your reserve champion female comes out of Division 10, entry 2128, BACC Georgia K 629. Owned by Mason Allen, Schulenburg, Texas. So Texas makes a sweep of the pole show. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have some premier breeder and exhibitor announcements here momentarily. Other than that, that does conclude the 2018 Junior National Hereford Expo. We thank each and every one of you for your attendance. We ask that you travel safe, and we'll see you again next year in Denver, Colorado.